The rain had a way of speaking to the bones of Lagos, cold, sharp, and relentless. It didn't pour in gentle sheets that soothed the skin, it slashed like warnings from the sky, as if the heavens themselves wept for the forgotten. In a narrow apartment deep in the heart of Ajagunal, Sonia sat hunched over a small charcoal stove, stirring ogi for her son. The kerosene had run out 2 days before, and she didn't have the strength to borrow again. Not from neighbors, not from her sister-in Suralir who'd stopped picking her calls, and certainly not from her husband Chuka, who had vanished after promising to bring home a job opportunity. The air inside the room was thick with smoke and sorrow. Her son, Junior, coughed weakly, and Sonia instinctively reached out to pat his back, murmuring a lullaby her mother used to sing when things were less cruel. Her fingers trembled, not from fear or sadness, but from the ache of survival. Sonia was 28, yet life had pressed on her like she was 50. Her skin had grown tired, and her eyes, once bright with dreams of acting on big stages, had sunk behind layers of fatigue and failure. It was at the Balagan market, in the chaos of traders shouting and fabrics flying, that Sonia's fate twisted. She had gone with only 500 Nigerian nairas, hoping to pick a few pieces of okrika she could wash, press, and resell. The bale had just arrived from Cotonou, fresh, untouched, and cheap. Sonia had never seen the vendor before, a hunched woman with skin like old bark and eyes so black they didn't reflect sunlight. She didn't speak much, just gestured for Sonia to pick from the pile. As Sonia sorted through faded jeans and tired blouses, her hand brushed against something smooth. She pulled it out, a wig, deep red, like spilled wine or fresh blood. It gleamed in the sun, silky and new, completely out of place in the pile of worn clothes. Sonia felt a strange pull, a heat that spread from her fingertips up her arm. The old woman gave her a nod, as if approving the find. "You take the woman said in a voice that scratched the air. "Not your own." Sonia hesitated. "How much?" The woman turned away. "No get price." She should have known then. Anything that comes free in a world like hers carries a price heavier than money. But Sonia, desperate and dazzled, took the wig and ran. That night, something strange happened. She had placed the wig on a chair, intending to throw it away. But as she lay in bed, a voice whispered her name, not from outside, not from within her mind, but from everywhere at once. She woke with a start, heart pounding. The wig was no longer on the chair. It was on her head. She screamed, clawing at it, but it was soft as a lover's touch, already woven into her scalp, and then she saw herself. In the cracked mirror by the window, her reflection was transformed, not the tired Sonia with hollow cheeks, but a glowing, powerful woman with skin like polished bronze and eyes that sparked. Her features sharpened, her posture lifted, and she laughed, a sound that didn't feel like hers. The next day, opportunity came. First, a call from a casting agent she had begged 6 months ago. "We have a last-minute dropout," he said. "Can you come in today? The client is international." She went. She got the role. They paid her up front. That week, Junior's cough disappeared. Electricity flowed non-stop. Sonia was called for more roles, a commercial, a soap opera, even a Nollywood film. Her Instagram blew up. Offers came from fashion brands. Interviews. Appearances. Her life became unrecognizable, but every night, the wig called to her. She tried once to leave it off, just once, too exhausted from a long shoot. At 1 a.m., her walls bled. Her bed trembled. Junior screamed without waking. The mirror shattered on its own. Sonia scrambled for the wig, heart racing, and as she placed it back on, everything stilled. The rules became clear: wear it every night. Never question its origin. Never speak of it. Never give it away. Weeks turned into months. Sonia's fame grew. Her beauty became the envy of social media. Blogs called her the overnight queen. But in private, she was unraveling. The wig had grown more possessive. It whispered things now, terrible things. It showed her visions of fire, of shadowy beings offering her crowns made of bone, and her son had begun to change. Junior, once playful and innocent, now stared at walls. He drew symbols on the floor with chalk. He spoke in languages Sonia didn't know. When she cried at night, he stood at her door, eyes glowing faintly red, whispering, "Mommy, the queen is angry." It was Chuka's return that broke everything. He came back unannounced, skinny and wild-eyed, reeking of failure. He begged to stay. Sonia, afraid of raising suspicion, allowed him in. That night, he touched the wig, curious, joking. The next morning, he was dead. Burned from the inside out, body untouched by fire, doctors couldn't explain it. Internal combustion, one muttered. Never seen anything like it. The police suspected foul play, but found no evidence. Sonia wept for the cameras, and the world comforted her. But inside, she knew. The wig had punished disobedience. Still, Sonia continued. She wore the wig. She obeyed. She danced with the power it gave her, even as it devoured pieces of her. Then came the vision, a warning wrapped in nightmare. She saw herself on a throne of skulls. Below, thousands chanted her name. But behind her stood the woman from the market, whispering, "Every crown comes with a cross. Yours is coming." Sonia tried to remove the wig, really remove it this time. She found a prophet, a powerful one known in Ajij for deliverance. He touched the wig and screamed, dropping dead before her eyes. His assistants fled, word spread. Sonia's glow began to fade. Her fans noticed. "She looks tired," they said. "She's not the same." Contracts started to dry. Brands pulled away. She wasn't trending anymore, but the final blow came when Junior vanished, gone without a trace, his bed empty, the window wide open despite being on the second floor. Sonia searched everywhere, screamed through the streets, paid thugs and priests alike. Days passed. Then weeks. The wig remained, more alive than ever, pulsating with a dark rhythm. And then it spoke, "You broke the covenant. The price must be paid." She fell into madness. Locked in her mansion, muttering to herself, wearing the wig like a crown of shame. Her eyes were hollow. Her skin pale. She stopped eating. She stopped fighting. The world watched her fall, a tragedy, they said. A warning, one day, the red wig was found at a street corner in Balagan Market again. Buried in a bale of thrift clothes. Waiting for the next Sonia. Sonia staggered back from the mirror, her legs weak, her heart racing. Her mouth was open, but no words came. Inside the mirror, the woman with no eyes, no lips, only bone and skin, was still staring. "You were warned," the voice said again, deep and cold like iron dragged across a grave. Then the mirror shattered. But it didn't just break, it exploded. The sound was like thunder inside a coffin. Glass flew everywhere. The air screamed. The lights blinked wildly. Ibuka let out a sharp cry. His small body turned blue, his teeth clenched, and his eyes rolled back. Ifani collapsed, stiff and shaking, foam spilling from his mouth. The house shook. The ground trembled, the red wig began to move. It crawled across the floor like a living thing, pulsing red like a beating heart. It didn't walk. It slid, like a spider with 100 legs, like something from a nightmare. The whole room stank. Not like sweat or food. No. It was the smell of something ancient and dead. Sonia had no choice. She picked up the wig with shaking hands, and she wore it again. Suddenly, silence. Ibuka gasped. Then he blinked and sat up slowly. Ifani stopped shaking. His eyes opened. The lights calmed. The air stopped buzzing, everything went back to normal, but inside Sonia, something broke, not her mind. Not just her body. Her soul. She sat on the cold floor, crying, shaking, trying to understand. She had thought she was lucky. That God had finally answered her prayer. That her time had come. But now, she knew the truth. She was not favored, she was trapped, owned. That night, long after her husband and son had fallen asleep, Sonia sat alone in the dark, staring at the wig lying on the floor beside her. It looked harmless now, soft and still like a pet waiting for its owner, but she knew better. The next day, she went back to the market. But the strange man with the quiet eyes and long fingers, he was gone. His stall was gone. His name was gone. The space was empty, covered in dust. Nobody remembered him. Some swore that corner had been empty for months. She searched everywhere. She visited pastors. She entered shrines. She begged for help, but once she described the wig, people ran. One prophet collapsed. A woman screamed and started bleeding from her nose. A young man saw the wig and fainted. Wherever she went, the same thing happened: fear, confusion, and silence, until she met the old woman. She was blind. Her hut was falling apart. But her voice was steady. Sonia opened the black nylon bag and placed the wig on the floor. The lamp dimmed on its own. The room grew cold. The woman began to tremble. Her mouth opened. Her voice was small, but sharp. "You carry a blood weaver," she said. Sonia froze. "What's that?" "It's not a wig," the old woman said. "It's the scalp of a cursed child. Her mother gave her to the spirits in exchange for beauty and fame. The girl was born for greatness, but she was sacrificed. Her hair was taken and turned into that thing." Sonia covered her mouth. "But I didn't make any deal." "You touched it," the woman replied. "You wore it. That was the agreement. Everything it gave you, it will collect. One way or another." Sonia's voice cracked. "Can I return it? Destroy it?" The woman laughed, but it was not joy. It was sorrow. "There's only one way. Return all it gave you. Every gift. Every kobo. Every drop of fame. Then." She paused. "You must burn it. With your own blood." Sonia went home. The next day, she started giving it all away. She returned the cars. She called her manager and canceled every endorsement. She moved out of the apartment. She gave away all the clothes, jewelry, money, everything. People thought she had lost her mind. The internet went wild. Videos of her crying spread online. Some said she was sick. Others said she was faking it. But she didn't care. She moved back to her old room. The one with no light, no fan. She cleaned her old chair and sat in it again, the way she did before all this started. This time, she felt peace. Then came Ibuka's birthday. Sonia was ready. She took the wig. She placed it in a metal basin. She held a razor in one hand. Her heart was loud in her chest. The wig began to move. It knew. "You don't own me anymore," she whispered. Then she cut her palm. Blood dripped, 1, 2, 3 drops, onto the wig. It screamed. The sound came from everywhere. From the wall. From the floor. From inside her head. The mirror cracked again. The room turned black. The woman appeared again, her stitched mouth bleeding now, her hands reaching out, but this time, she was weak. Sonia lit a match. The fire rose, but not red, it was blue. Then black. Then purple. The wig burned like a cursed scroll. The spirit howled. Shadows tried to climb the wall. The house groaned. Sonia stood still, bleeding, sweating, shaking, but strong, and then, silence, only ash. The next morning, the sky was clean. The sun rose gently. Ibuka laughed while drawing on the floor. Ifani made tea and kissed her forehead. For the first time in months, they all smiled. They were poor again, but they were safe. Sonia returned to the market. She sold clothes again, not for magic, not for power. Just for honest living. When a young girl walked up to her and asked, "Do you have something special? Something magical?" Sonia smiled softly. no magic, she said. Just work, time, and prayer. That's the only secret. The girl walked away. Sonia leaned back in her chair. The wind touched her face. Her hands were rough. Her clothes were plain, but she was truly rich, because now, she was free. If something looks too easy, ask what it will cost later. Many gifts come wrapped in chains. Don't rush your life. Don't sell your peace. Real success comes with time, faith, and patience, not with blood, fear, or secrets.